It is throwback style tonight for the XCAL Racing $5 Tuesday Series as we come to one of the most historic racetracks that NASCAR has ever been to, North Wilkesboro Speedway, which will see racing in real life this season. But first, XCAL takes over on iRacing. We welcome you to How to Suck at iRacing's live coverage of the XCAL Racing Web Shop 333 from the 1987 version of North Wilkesboro Speedway in North Carolina. Good evening, friends. Marty Sakala alongside Doug Burns from How to Suck at iRacing. We hope you all had a fantastic Father's Day weekend. We're so glad you could join us tonight. Before we get to all of our pre-race interviews, let's talk about a big change that's in effect for tonight's race. And Doug, it's the fact that every driver has one strike tonight in wake of what happened in last week's race at South Boston.
Well, it was a bit rough. There was talk of war. There's been a peace treaty. They went to Switzerland and settled things, but it was still a rough race at Sobo, and a lot of drivers had a lot of damage, a lot of incident points. It's helped the championship purse, and it's helped all the purse. But I think with most of these drivers having a strike here tonight, I think you're going to see a little bit more calm driving and a lot longer. We've always seen some good green flag runs here, but I think you'll see a bit more of that tonight.
Yeah, here's what this means. If any driver causes a wreck, no matter what happens, they will be disqualified if it's not dealt with as a racing incident, or it could be dealt as avoidable contact. 1,000X from last week. We hope that number goes down by at least 200-300% or so. But anyway, we're getting set to go here. Let's talk with a couple of drivers before we go racing here tonight for 333 laps. And the first driver we are going to talk with is a driver who had a great run last week, but unfortunately did not finish in the top three, and that was Steven Rex. Steven, I want to ask first about last week's run you had. Top 5 finish, that's got to make you feel good after last week.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely good. Actually, I've had back-to-back fifth places, so I can't complain about that.
I'm curious, did anything about selling your ownership, was that like a big weight that was lifted off of your shoulders, just focusing on the driving, helping you out, just focus more on how you're doing on track compared to how your teammates are doing as a whole?
Possibly, but, you know, maybe that's just in my mind. I don't think so. It seems like business as usual. Just Sean's doing the paperwork, and I'm going to miss a few weeks, so that's why we decided to do it. I don't know if I'm going to continue, but for now, I'm going to keep going until work dictates otherwise.
All right, buddy. You start from 19th position from midfield. Wishing you the best of luck.
All right, thanks, Marty. Take care.
That's Steven Rex driving in car number 36, currently 19th quick on the warm-up charts at the moment. Let's talk with a couple of other drivers here at the moment. While we were at it, Doug, while we're waiting for a couple of more drivers, let's get your keys to victory.
Tonight it's just going to be a matter of keeping it clean, and corner exit here is sketchy. Always has been, always will be. You're downhill coming out of turn 4, uphill coming out of turn 2. You're loose on the gas, and we've seen that already here in warm-up. Drivers sliding, trying to get as much as you can. You get that outside wall, especially out of turn 2. However, the other issues coming out of turn 4, you get too loose, you spin down to pit road, and of course, we did last year see some green flag stops here, so hard to say what's going to happen here tonight, but it's definitely going to be an exciting one. Drivers going to have to be very mindful and up on the wheel all night long.
Especially when this driver, you never know what happens when it comes to his pit strategy, and that is Luke Turpin. Luke, it was an unfortunate circumstance with what happened to you last week, but I am sure you're fired up for tonight. You want that win badly.
Yeah, Marty, we're going to do the best we can do tonight. You know, we're in a pretty deep hole now as far as the season's concerned. We've had obviously some unfortunate luck and then a little bit of intentional contact from people. But, you know, it's nothing maybe that we still can't overcome or at least get it to the finale. But, you know, it's a pretty deep hole we're in right now.
You got a good starting position tonight from the looks of it. How do you go into this race 333 laps? Do you want to get right up to the front or just work your way around throughout the track?
I think tonight you got to be a little methodical. It's a tough track to pass, and it is also a issue with like contact on this track because the whole one strike thing that everybody's got tonight, which I don't really understand, but it's okay. Yeah, just gonna be methodical about it.
By the way, who's your throwback tonight?
My throwback paint scheme goes out to my dad. It's a car he had when he was younger, and since we're driving Camaros out here, why the hell not?
Well, that's awesome, buddy. We're wishing you the best of luck tonight. I'll let you move yourself back into your spot.
Thank you.
Sorry, that's Luke Turpin as he gets set to go racing tonight. Let's talk with our pole sitter as well in the number 18. Good to have him back coming off of graduation last week, Austin Edwards. First off, we congratulate you on that as a whole. Career pole as well coming in tonight, one behind Turpin for the most all time. However, though, I know you don't really care about the poles. All you care about is taking home some checkered flags and bringing home some trophies.
Oh, absolutely. You know, after last week, Bladen was a great fill-in driver. Got us some extra points over Turpin and Crapser, so really solid points day there. We got one heck of a lead there now, so now I just got to hope I can stay consistent the rest of the season and have a little bit more leeway to be more aggressive, but I'm not planning on that tonight, obviously. Only one strike available to us drivers, so it's going to be a race of survival, if you ask me. As always, fuel strategy is a big thing here. We're dealing with a really hot track, so a lot of different variables tonight. We're just going to have to see what we can figure out.
After what happened last week as a whole between you and the war against JNS, how do you put that in the rearview mirror and just focus on tonight here in North Wilkesboro?
Well, you know, Marty, we all put a lot of money and time into this league, and doing something like what we did last week was just unreasonable. So, I mean, I admit there was faults on my team. I know Joe admitted there was faults on his team. We've talked it out. We want to make sure we keep each other clean so we keep the rest of the field clean from now on, and just really hoping we don't have a spark to reignite the fire after last week. We're hoping for a clean race today.
All right, man. Well, we're wishing you the best of luck tonight.
Thank you, Marty.
Austin Edwards to the number 18. His number is the points leader coming on in, and he starts from pole position here tonight. Should be a fun one here, Doug. Let's look at, by the way, some of the paint schemes. Of course, it is throwback night. We've got a lot of awesome paint schemes here. There's too many awesome ones to think of which one is the best.
Kind of digging Devin Landry's the old '96 Caterpillar car. That's pretty nice out there. There's quite a few different ones out there. Kendrick Cryer, I'm not sure. Is that a throwback to when he was a rookie? Is what I'm wondering here. Old school.
I think that's a throwback to when him and Blake Wynn were teammates.
I got
out of the Gas and Go camp.
Got some old DBR paint schemes by Pelletier, Tyler McRae in an old DBR paint scheme. Matt Bear, I was trying to get a look at his earlier. Carrot Top, I forgot. He sent me that earlier in the week.
That's one of my favorites.
That one is
I love
hilarious.
that paint. Yeah, not a lot of people remember that paint scheme, but I do because it was one of the paints on NASCAR Racing 2003 season, the predecessor to iRacing, and it's awesome. My other favorite one, if you want to go real throwback, look at Thanos Pool. He's got the Bobby Allison AMC throwback. That baby's hot.
Well, you have to admit that Thanos and I, you talk about throwbacks, Thanos and I remember when those were just normal. So, yeah. It's not throwback for us. It's good old days for us. So, yeah.
This legit looks, the street stock does look like a 1970s car.
Yeah, they are, I believe they're like based off the 79. So, it is kind of cool to see these cars back out here. I have to ask Jim Johnson out here, have you noticed his paint scheme? That
looks like a stinking taxi cab in New York City back from the 70s.
Roll back to the 70s cab, as I do believe what that might be from Taxi Driver is what he's going for there. Man, I'm feeling really nostalgic and really old at the same time.
Absolutely. Me too. Tonight's race brought to you by the XCAL Racing web shop. Make sure you head over to xcalracing.com/shop for all your favorite things. XCAL Racing, our newest products include the Whale PD Gaming Mousepad and the XCAL Racing 2022 Gym Bag. So A lot of things to look forward to here tonight at North Wilkesboro. Checkers are just about to come out on warm-ups. Devin Landry is the quickest at the end of this session in the Ward Burton throwback number 96 with a 19.78.
Alex Gratz has spent the last 2 laps drifting off the corners. I think he's been taking lessons from Austin Edwards.
Could have been, possibly. They are teammates as well. So, set to go racing. Let's meet the field. Here is the starting lineup. On the front row is Austin Edwards with the pole position, his 10th career XCAL Racing pole. And Rocky Boy next to him in the 25. That 25 looking for a big rebound night. Row number 2, Zach Edwards, the 2-time winner this season for the last 2 weeks. And John Friley is next to him. Row 3, PDJ Zeller and Devin Landry, the teammates. Row 4, welcome back Tyler Jalbert, and Matt Pelletier is next to him. Rounding out the top 10, also teammates Kendrick Cryer and Alex Gratz. Row number 6, the return of T-Money, Tyler McRae and Alex Krapser next to him. Row number 7, it's Noah Carpenter and Luke Turpin. Row 8, the teammates as well, Blake Wynn and John Schwartz, coming off of some 2nd and 3rd place finishes respectively last week. Row number 9, Kyle Bartles and Matt Bear. Row number 10 is Stephen Rex and Robert Colgan. Row 11 is Greg Holes and Albert Hewins, coming off of an incredible top 10 run last week. Row 12 is Joe Campbell and James Johnson. Row 13 is Jose Gaudino and Ryan Seams. Row 14, Sean Patrick and Gerald Thanos Poole. Row number 15, Derek Colson and Jeff Edgar. Row 16, the resurgence of Tanner Kalin. And next to him is Stephen Wetton. And rounding out the field tonight, Don Jordan in car number 61. As the field rolls off here for their 2 pace laps, 333 laps, 208 miles around North Wilkesboro. Field window just about 58 to 68 laps. So we are looking just around a 5 to 6 stop race or so tonight. Doug, 1 lap to green, final thoughts.
Fuel mileage played a huge part of this race last year. Probably going to again with everybody having a strike. I guarantee you they're going to be playing it safe early, but again, it's just it was a dumpster fire last week, and it will not take much of a spark to get these guys riled up again. So hopefully we see a good, clean green flag race start to finish.
It's the return of a lot of old paint schemes to XCAL Racing and a lot of old drivers. Well, sit down and relax, because where else would you rather be than right here, right now, throwback style. Austin Edwards brings the field to green. It's showtime as the field goes thundering. Down to the turn number 1, Edwards leads over Rocky Boy.
No big surprise, Austin got control of the start and just shoots off the front. That front 5 gets single file for the moment, but they're starting to stack up behind as they fight their way forward, and a lot of guys, as we mentioned in pre-race, really loose early on off the turns. It's going to be non-stop excitement. These tuck cars only have a few laps here where they really have a lot of grip. Then you're just fighting the track the whole day.
Matt Pelletier, John Frawley in a good battle for 8th position. To me, that's for 7th spot. Frawley with a new team this week in the JNS Racing Camp, previously with Jeff Edgar's team last week in car number 57. Zach Edwards in the number 6, trying to close in on the top 2. The 2-time winner had the fastest lap of the race last time by, and he looks to go 3 in a row, which we have not seen in quite some time.
No, actually, I don't think we saw it last year at all. No, we did. Austin Edwards was likely the last one to pull 3 in a row. That was last season. Nobody has been that dominant this season. Austin looking to get back to dominant form, but I think it's an Edwards thing. I mean, we had a new Edwards last week. If we get all 3 Edwards in the field, could it be a 1, 2, 3 Edwards finish?
I don't know. That is a good question. We'll just have to see what happens. I don't know that throwback, by the way, for Zach Edwards. Would you happen to know? It must be an old JNS paint scheme, Doug.
I'm thinking so. But look at the car that is on the move right now. Another JNS car, also the fastest car on the track. The double out of PDJ Zeller, who's been having some excellent races here lately, in the top 5 already.
That's a Tony Raines throwback in the 00 Alka-Seltzer Pontiac. I had to look up this scheme because I've never seen it before, and then it popped up. Tony Raines like, oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. He is closing in on Zach Edwards and Rocky Boyd, but of course, 7 laps in of a 333-lap race. He's going to take it nice and easy, especially with his teammate right in front of him in Zach Edwards.
Jonathan Schwartz up 3 spots into 13th midfield. Schwartz in the old Miller High Life paint scheme starting to make some stuff happen. I know he kind of was a little, he was happy with his performance last week, but not happy with the way the race went.
Biggest mover so far, 7 laps in. Tanner Kalin currently up 6 spots. Kendrick Cryer is up 4, while about 5 others are up 3 positions. Make that 6.
And one driver really starting to fade. Friley having some issues here early. Wondering what's going on there. If he got something wrong on the setup, he finally has settled back in about 15th. But from where he started and as fast as he was in practice, a bit surprised to see him this far back this quickly.
Not the start that the 23 wanted at all for sure. Biggest gap currently on track at the moment between a car headed in front is between Zeller and between Cryer and Landry, just about 0.8 of a second. Nobody a second beyond of a car ahead or behind. Zeller got a little bit loose off of turn number 2, but he keeps the car under control. That's something we're going to watch out for very closely here tonight, especially in turn number 4 on the exit, Doug.
Yeah, coming off turn 4, you're always on the gas. You're trying to get that run down the hill into 1, and the corners here are tough to get off of either end of the track, but the added momentum going down the hill and trying to get that perfect run off, it is so easy to sling the back end around here, and then you're burning up your tires, and it causes a whole bunch of problems, so you've got to be extremely careful. Sometimes it's better to back off just a little bit, save the car for later. You'll have the opportunity to use it, as here goes Zach Edwards looking for second on Rocky Boyd.
Zach Edwards is on a mission to go for 3 in a row. He's had the setup dialed in the last couple of weeks. Off to a great start this season. So Edwards tries to make the pass stick. Of course, in XCAL Racing, it's where you are at the time of caution, not reverting to the previous lap, like at dirt tracks. Edwards, can he clear for second on Rocky Boyd? He can on the entry of turn number 1, as Zeller looks to go on the attack as well for 3rd position. Speaking of turn number 1, we got to watch that very closely as well tonight, Doug, especially on green flag pit stops, because turn 1 is kind of like an illusion here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway, because that one lane that cuts up, that's the pit road exit lane. So sometimes you think there's 4 lanes in turn number 1 when there's actually only 3.
Not only that, there is no exit road. You're just on the gas. As soon as you come off pit road, you've got to get up to speed. Cars are coming, and under green flag conditions, there's cars everywhere. Question asked in chat, though, there are no Fords on track because, Russell, as you well know, they just blow up.
The top 5 currently single file, and actually we got a good battle on hand for 8th position.
Noah Carpenter, Matt Pelletier going at it. Looks like Carpenter in an old school Coors Light paint. Oh man, they are lean. 8 tires are better than 4 around here. Oh, Carpenter has to save the car down on the bottom. He keeps his foot in it, but loses the back end. And you can see the cars are... he is all over. These cars are just skating. We heard drivers talk about the higher track temperature here tonight. Oh!
Man, they are leaning on each other early. They don't care if it's a long race on lap number 333. Let's remember about Pelletier last week. He was angry at how he was getting raced to Jake Sylvia last week in the 25. Pelletier is thinking right now with the way Carpenter is racing him, you're going to do that to me? All right, I'll do that right back to you.
I think a few drivers, despite peace treaties being signed and, war crimes being punished and things of that nature, I think there's still some drivers that have not forgotten South Boston. They're not, I don't think some of them are over it yet, and they learned a lot during that race.
Man, PDJ Zeller just got loose off of turn number 2, and it wasn't by himself. He was looking to the inside on Rocky Boyd for third position, and Boyd just shut the door right in his face. Zeller's probably thinking, all right, dude, come on, man. You got Kendrick Cryer, Devin Landry starting to join this party, and a battle for third, while somehow, because of this hard racing, the Edwards have not gone away yet.
And look at this. Here comes Kendrick Cryer trying to make a move on the bottom.
That's Devin Landry.
Devin Landry on the bottom of Cryer, rather. And, man, Landry, he was fastest in warm-up. He's still fast here. Although trying to make that pass on the bottom out of turn 2 is tricky to get on the throttle and not spin the tires.
Got also some couple good battles for position as well. Greg Holes battling with John Friley for 18th on track. Robert Colgan, Stephen Wetton battling for 26th position. No sign of lap traffic yet at the moment. We've got 22nd laps. Drivers are running just about 0.3 of a second of tire fall off. Don Jordan is currently the last place driver, who was just about 14 to 15 seconds back. Noah Carpenter showing signs of blinking at the moment. He's currently in 8th position, up 5 positions. Let's update you, by the way, on one of the biggest movers of the race so far. That is Tanner Kalin in the old XCAL Racing number 57, already up 10 spots from the drop of the green in 21st position, just getting past Albert Hewins for P21. Whoa, hang on to her, Jim Johnson. The taxi cab nearly lost it at the line.
Yeah, Jim definitely. Oh, look right above him, though. As soon as they get side by side and give that little bit of extra push, both cars get a bit loose here. And you can get loose just about any line on this track. It is so easy to do. And as we mentioned, a hot track tonight. Even as they get rubber laid down, it's going to get, they're going to lose even more grip. I think we're going to see a lot of sliding before this one's over. Guys
Absolutely.
like Austin Edwards, really good at drifting, might have an advantage here.
Yeah, who knows? And you know, when you think of it, by the way, when it comes to the front two, Austin, Zach Edwards, they had a good battle for the win at Concord a couple of weeks ago. Austin Edwards on the final stop had taken 2 tires or less gas to get him to the lead. Zach Edwards did either 4 tires or full fuel, and that's what pretty much cost this race. And Zach Edwards had a really good chance at winning it, even came close to getting up to Austin Edwards' rear bumper at the white flag.
Yeah, there was some close racing, and there was a couple of drivers that had planned some strategy just about right, but came up 1 or 2 laps short that would have blown Austin and Zach out of the water on that one. Just a little bit of bad pit strategy, so pit strategy will be a key here tonight. I guarantee you every one of these drivers has tested the absolute limits of the fuel. They're watching the temperatures, the track temperature, the air temperature, and every drop of fuel is being monitored here tonight.
Here we go for P5. Devin Landry trying to look underneath Kendrick Cryer. I'm not even too sure. There may have been possibly a bumper that the Ward Burton throwback used on Kendrick Cryer's rookie paint scheme. That's from the good old Gas and Go days last year.
Hey, look who's up 7 spots. Another hard charger. Joe Campbell now up into 16th place after starting 23rd. One of the unluckiest guys in the world last week. Hoping he has broken that bad luck streak. Right in front of him, Matt Bear up into 15th now.
Joe Campbell, by the way, just passing Alex Gratz around the outside in his Bill Elliott Melling Racing throwback. That's one of the best, that's one of the cooler throwbacks we have out here tonight. Gratz actually scraping the wall for just a moment.
Austin and Zach are starting to see. Oh, Zach looks down the inside off 2, and they've got lap traffic less than a straightaway away. Austin is not going to fight him.
Austin, I think, is going to let Zach Edwards have it. The only driver that had 0x last week in Zach Edwards and won the race leads the lap at the line. We've got our first lead change of the evening.
And I said I thought Austin would let him go. No, he's not. He's going to fight back up on the high side. Just basically just trying to force Zach to use up some of his tires here. That's all Austin can do. It's very, very difficult to make that move on the high side and get around, get back up to the front. But you know what? If he can keep him pinched down a little bit, make him use that tire up a little bit, you never know what can. Here they come into lap traffic.
Yeah, Austin Edwards gives Zach Edwards the room as the drivers were working on the 61 of Don Jordan, who's got the Morgan Shepherd throwback in the Motorcraft car. We've actually got two Motorcraft paint schemes. You've got Don in the Morgan Shepherd throwback, and then you also have another one, Stephen Wetton, in the second throwback. I think that one goes back to the Wood Brothers days.
It does, and yep, that is the old school Wood Brothers paint scheme, and it does look pretty. It looks even better on a Chevy than it did on the Ford, though.
Really does. Plus, Chevys are cooler than Fords. Sorry, Russell.
Russell's used to it.
Yeah.
Russell actually wisely switched to a Chevy recently, and I was so proud of him.
Good boy. Even though I drive a Toyota, my dad drives a Chevy. I used to drive a Chevy. We like them in our family. Change for 11th. Blake Wynn getting past Matt Pelletier, and Tyler McRae is in this battle. McRae has been used to seeing DBR paint jobs in the past, but I don't think he's been used to seeing Matt Pelletier before.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting battle right here. These three, holy cow. Some of these guys really appear to have set up for the run into the turn to try and make sure they could get that nose in. And you can tell the guys that are set up for that corner entry, they drive in so much deeper. It just allows them to get that nose in. It forces the other car to the outside.
Whoa! Off of turn 4, Kendrick Cryer and Devin Landry touch right in front of PDJ Zeller. This is amazing racing for 4th position on the track.
Oh, they are both loose off the tube.
This is getting crazy, and they got that's not lap traffic, that's Rocky Boyd they may catch up to any time now, who's actually pulled away from the drivers after guys like Cryer and Zeller were trying to get 3rd position away.
Oh, the 96.
Way loose.
Mid 1 and 2 just kicks it out, and he does not lift. He is still sending it.
Landry looks like he's got a paint scheme that's not a street stock, but a catskidskierloader.com.
He is.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Oh.
And almost pinches Kendrick Cryer into the grass.
You gotta wonder. Petey looked like he backed off for a second there.
I think that's his plan. I think he expects something to happen.
Yeah, Petey is definitely backing off as Landry just continues to kick. The bad part about that is the more he uses up that right rear, the worse this is going to get. Even if he's doing it unintentionally, he's going to be in trouble later on. Those tires are really going to be ate up. And he is still loose as Cryer gets underneath the bumper.
That was a great pass from Landry to take away 4th position and a fun start to the evening. We're actually, by the way, and I can't believe it's gone by this quickly, we are about 13 laps away from the pit window opening up for the first stops of this evening.
Yeah, this will be interesting because green flag stops here. You've got to be communicating on the radio with the other drivers and just saying every time you hit pit road, I'm going in this lap, because otherwise you're going to get rear-ended and cause a big pileup in turn 3. Coming off pit road, you got to communicate as well, because the 96 is loose. Because if you don't, you're going to come drive right up into somebody.
Bardos, we're getting reports that he is blinking very badly and that he's actually disconnected from the race due to internet issues. Not sure if he'll get back in. We'll keep you posted on that. Big send from Cryer into turn number 3. I think he put the chrome horn on the 96 of Landry and takes away P4 on the track. You know, Petey's not going to be happy about that. He wants to go after Kendrick Cryer for that spot.
No, it looked like Landry was so loose out of 2. Cryer, as we see on the Flaming Karma replay, Cryer just right there on the bumper. Wasn't even aiming for him, wasn't trying to move him. Just kind of happened.
Let's go to another good battle on track. A battle for 10th spot between Luke Turpin and Tyler McRae. These two. Oh, hang on a second. Blake Wood is loose. John Schwartz, the teammate. Oh, boy. Cue the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song there. Let's see if we have do we have a Flaming Karma Paint Shop replay for that?
Which one was it? Matt Bear and Blake Wynn, or Matt Pelletier and Blake Wynn?
John Schwartz passing Blake Wynn for a position.
Let's see. There was several passes on Blake Wynn here in a very short time. Here you go. Wow, Schwartz really just bumps him and sends him up the track, and 3 drivers slip by Blake Wynn. But yeah, Schwartz, I don't know if he intended to use the bumper, but there you have it.
Look who else has joined in on the front, on the fun near the front. Noah Carpenter looking to get past PDJ Zeller in that other Pontiac for 6th position on track. Carpenter, by the way, with the Sterling Marlin throwback. We've got a lot of Coors paint schemes out here tonight. You know what? That's a good idea. Aaron, I know you're watching this after the race. You need to reach out to the Miller Coors Brewing Company to sponsor us because of that.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
We got too many of these Coors paint schemes.
Zach Edwards had pulled away for a little bit, and now he is heavy into, and he just put the bumper.
Oh, Steven Rex goes around in the 36. That's no caution. We stay under the green flag. There was another car involved as well. It was Eric Colson. Let's see. Let's take a look at the Flaming Karma Paint Shop replay and see what happened there.
And it looks like, oh, he had to come down. The 5 just comes down a little bit. There was a car up on the high side. We'll take another look at this. There was a car up on the high side. It was the 17, I believe, that was trying to make a pad, make it 3 wide. He comes down a little bit. Colson has to pull the car down to try not to get him, and gets into Rex.
That was so close where Steven Rex was. That was oh so close to being a caution and potentially a disqualification on somebody. 55 laps are complete. The Edwards 1 and 2, Rocky Boy 3rd, Kendrick Cryer 4th, Noah Carpenter rounds out the top 5. Pit stops coming up on the other side of the break.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and e-NASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
We are back here at North Wilkesboro Speedway for the XCAL Racing Web Shop 333. Currently 65 laps complete. Zach Edwards in lap traffic with a 4.3 second lead on Austin Edwards. Like to take this opportunity as well before we continue talking about the racing. We'd like to welcome a brand new sponsor to XCAL Racing. You saw them underneath the under the commercial break, and that is Moonlight Speed Concepts. Moonlight Speed Concepts offers official iRacing setups, driver coaching, custom paint wraps, and a whole lot more. Want to hop right into the sim and drive to victory? Grab your single setup or setup package at moonlightspeed.com.
And
Zach Edwards, yeah, go ahead. Pit stop's underway.
Pit stop's underway, and have to mention you'll get to see some of these drivers again tomorrow night for the second annual Kathy Linder Memorial Race for the American Cancer Society. We were at $3,000 raised today, so as long as 24 hours from now we haven't hit $5,000, I don't have to shave my chest because that was the deal. So we were going to live stream that. Fortunately, we have not hit that $5,000 mark yet. I'm very happy. I keep my chest hair.
So about 10 drivers come in during this first round of pit stops. The majority of the J&S cars, including PDJ Zeller and Devin Landry, who are fading back big time.
Zach Edwards gave up the lead. He's on pit road. And Noah Carpenter to the lead for the first time.
Noah Carpenter in the Coors Light 960. As they work their way by lap traffic, it's got to be careful with the lap cars because it could cause a big wreck at any point in the race. Carpenter gives the lead up. Alex Krapser is our third different leader of the race, officially our second lead change.
Couldn't see who was coming in behind Noah Carpenter. All I saw was they cut it a little too far in, and they caught the curbing and wheel hopped onto pit road. It was a great save, but a close call. The curbs here are brutal, and if you catch one even a little bit wrong, it can end your night.
So Zach Edwards in the pits waiting for Austin Edwards here, and actually Zach Edwards comes out of pit road. And we'll see where he ends up. He's currently ahead of Matt Bear, Austin Evans, and oh boy, the 7 of Jeff Edgar got loose coming on into pit row. Luckily, his pit box is just in front of the pit entry. So he gets in there without any issues, and only 2 drivers yet to pit at the moment, Alex Krapser and Steven Rex. There you see Rex in front of the race leader, and I think we're going to expect both of them to come in. So they'll both come in. We'll focus on Krapser's stop.
Wow, they almost got each other. Jim Johnson now coming in.
And so 4 tires and fuel expected from the drivers here.
The limited fuel tank, you have to wonder if some of these guys have tried what different strategies we've seen tried here tonight, or tried during the week throughout practice and testing. I would bet some right side tire changes are happening here early as well. The track temperature might be a bit different. These guys know exactly how long it's going to take them to get 2 tires versus 4 and fill up that tank, and they're going to play it down to get as little as possible, get back out as quickly as possible, get any advantage they can as Zach Edwards reclaims the lead.
We saw a couple of drivers take some big gambles on pit road, even on the first stops. You see a lot of drivers taking the big risks. Matt Bear is one of them. He's now up to second after his stop. He had a 51-second time on pit road, as our third lead change of the race is official for Zach Edwards. He went 32 seconds on his stop, 44 on Zach Edwards. And I have a feeling, a good feeling, tells me that he took less fuel on that stop. And also the same goes with John Schwartz. They each had 10-second quicker stops compared to the leaders on the track.
Yeah, they did something. I don't know what, but they did something to get save some time.
What they're hoping for is for a yellow to come out before they run empty. And that would open up the window for probably everybody to come in under the first caution of the race, if that does happen.
Yeah, and it would give them the track position they need. It's not a bad strategy to try it early because you have plenty of time to make it up if it doesn't work out. And you haven't really lost a whole lot if you just go do 4 tires and full fuel on the next one, because all these other guys are going to try different pit strategies throughout the night. If it works, you've given yourself a ton of track position. If not, you've not hurt yourself too terribly bad.
We'd like to take this opportunity to say hello to a driver that is watching tonight from home, not in the rig. And that, of course, is Daniel Miller. This was a surprise story. Daniel Miller did not qualify for this race after finishing in the top 10 last week at South Boston. So, Daniel, hello. We hope you are doing well. We definitely miss you tonight. We hope to see you on the track next weekend when we go to... next weekend when we go to Southern National Motorsports Park.
Yeah, Southern National always, I don't know what it is about that track. I know iRacing has fixed the glitches over the years, but I just don't know what it is about that track that brings out the insanity in both the drivers and what happens on track. We have seen races there where at 15, 20 laps to go in XCAL, they have had 2 cars on the lead lap, and then a caution comes out, and we end up with a bunch more back on the lead lap and a multi-car battle for the win.
Jose Gaudino just got loose in turn 2 after he got into the quarter panel of Don Jordan. Made a great save after that. I don't think we'll have a replay for you on it, unfortunately, so we won't be able to show you it while we are at it.
Jose Gaudino, you got to give him a shout-out. In the city Chevrolet car.
Absolutely. I love that Cole Trickle throwback. By the way, I wanted to mention SNMP because you were talking about something, how it was insane. Think of this. Picture Bristol and Martinsville if they had a baby and was on steroids.
Yeah, and you know, the pit road entrance, you go uphill onto pit road. You go downhill off of pit road, the big berm there in the middle. Some guys set their car up to use that berm to help them rotate through the middle of the corner. It is such a unique track. It's high banked and long straightaways like Martinsville, high banked like Bristol. Yeah, it's a fun one. It's always exciting, but man, it does bring out a lot of insanity, a lot of chaos.
I've got a win there in street stocks on week 13 of all the weeks, and somehow it didn't crash. I don't know how. That was a crazy race. It's fun to race on in the street stocks, and also a lot of fun to race with the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour when they have an official race on iRacing. Battle for 17th, Greg Holes, Blake Wynn.
Yeah, and these are the guys at the tail, or these are the first 2 cars a lap down, so you know, this one actually is a pretty important battle for position. These are the guys that the caution comes out right now, both in a position to get waved around. They've got cars hanging with them that if any mistake, they could lose that opportunity to get back to the lead lap. So they're going to fight it out hard here. But it looks like Blake Wynn will come out ahead on it.
Big run to the inside for Noah Carpenter. Loose off the corner for turn 4 in a battle for 6th spot with Kendrick Cryer.
Man, there is a battle everywhere right now. These guys are definitely pushing a little bit harder. We saw a lot of patience early on. We've seen a lot of guys make sure they don't get into the guy in front of them's bumper. They're giving a little bit of room, except in a few rare cases. Seeing a lot of patience here, but I think that we're almost a third of the way into this thing. I think some of the patience is going away.
We continue to watch Cryer and Carpenter in a battle for 6th position. I'd like to say hello to our viewers watching on chat. I'll start with on Twitch. Adam the Legend asks, how's Matt the Madman Bear doing? Matt currently running in 2nd on the track. On Facebook, Johnny B says, I think some of the paint is getting scraped off those 2 cars. It's getting all over the track. I'm not surprised. That's classic North Wilkesboro for you, as Tyler Jalbert working on Kendrick Cryer. Tyler Jalbert knows that he is a lap behind lap down on those guys, so per XCAL rules, he is able to race. Hello to Terry Radford, good friend of mine. TN Vols on Xbox. What's going on, man? For those that don't know Terry, by the way, not only is he a big part of Moonlight Speed, but he is also a huge part of many special iRacing broadcasts around the community. Incredible broadcaster, so hello to Terry there watching. Chris Johnson said, Jim said, shame, knowing his throwback. And Johnny B also said, watch out for Petey in the 00. He think he can take it home tonight. Petey currently running in 9th position. We also got JR iRacing watching on YouTube, rooting for. It says Nicole,
he usually cheers for Topher, but see, Jason just suddenly cheering for Nicole now. So there you go.
Yeah, unless he's thinking that Nicholas Seams is in the field, which I don't see him on
No,
our roster
it's
tonight.
a long-running joke. He's a great follower. How you doing, Jason?
All right, I got you. So while we are at it, 93 laps are currently in the book. Zach Edwards has led the most laps, 3.5-second lead on Matt Bear. And look at this. Zach Edwards is starting to work on Luke Turpin on the tail end of the lead lap.
Not a big surprise. I mean, Zach he checked out 3 seconds from Austin Edwards, almost 4 seconds from Austin Edwards in that first run. We go down here and it gets his pit stop in, has a good pit stop, 4 tires, fuel, and now he's pulling away. He's got, 3.6 on Matt Bear. He is just, the last couple of weeks, just been about unbeatable. He could pull off the three-peat here tonight.
Could possibly do so. It's very rare in XCAL race, and of course we saw Austin Edwards do that last year. Well, obviously because he's Austin Edwards, he's really fast, but I did not think that we would expect it from Zach Edwards coming on into the year.
He was really starting to pick up some momentum the end of last year, but didn't know just how much he had picked up. And early in the season, he was fast, but man, the last couple races, something has just clicked in the car. His team has got something figured out that he likes, and now he is like a bullet.
Here's something coincidental about Zach Edwards, by the way. Last week, where does Zach Edwards start? Row number 2. Where does Zach Edwards start today? Row number 2. There's something about that second row that makes Edwards win these races or something like that. That gives him a chance at winning these races, I should say. So while we're at it, let's take a look at a couple more of these throwbacks. We can do them while we are watching some battles on the racetrack. First off, Stephen Wetton and Tanner Kalin have the best battle on the track. That's for 14th. And they're the first cars, by the way, a lap down, Blake Wynn behind. If a yellow came out right now, watch this close, because Ryan Seams at this moment is the first car that would not get a wave around. And he's trying everything to get that spot on the 57 of Kalin. I love that paint scheme, by the way, on Ryan Seams. It's the red vest throwback that Jimmy Johnson drove once a season. And I remember watching that car go to victory lane in the most iconic Texas Motor Speedway race ever.
Hey, what else has happened at Texas Motor Speedway there, Marty? Just curious. Have you ever raced at Texas? It's never going away.
Hey, I'm talking real life Texas Motor Speedway, not talking iRacing.
The inside wall.
Okay, I'm not gonna say Texas Motor Speedway anymore. I'm just gonna say this track from now on. Good racing as well happening for 5th position up near the front. Rocky Boyd, Noah Carpenter, and Alex Krapser. Krapser with the Ray Bestos throwback in the number 29. I didn't see that, by the way, coming on into tonight. Now I'm realizing that. That's a great paint scheme.
It really is. It's nice to see the paint schemes that... Oh, man! He's trying to tear the right side of that car off. It's nice to see the paint schemes match the body style. These older 70s and 80s paint schemes that really match those body styles back, man, that's just a really nice touch. The drivers running those schemes.
That's the Jeff Burton throwback paint scheme, and I really do miss Ray Bestos in the sport. Ray Bestos Rookie of the Year.
Yes,
that just sounds smooth. Oh, hang on a second. In front of them, Rocky Boyd got loose. Noah Carpenter got to the inside. Then he started blinking. And Carpenter is up to P5.
Carpenter's been fast all night. He's been fast the last couple of races. Oh, what in the... The 25 of Rocky Boyd just went from the outside wall down to the bottom. He is not a touch.
Ooh. This is getting good, folks, especially with Alex Krapser in the way. It's starting to turn into a threesome for P5 on track.
It's getting a bit rough, and remember, these guys could... Oh, here we go. This could end up any mistake here tonight, too aggressive, you get into somebody, you wreck them, and you could end up disqualifying after Sobo. So, oh, and look, here we go. Noah Carpenter blinking right in front of this as he catches up to the back of the lap 17 car.
It's Alex Gratz, and you're watching Krapser and Carp and Boyd for 6th position. I wish we could have a split screen camera because we're watching this battle for 6th, and we're watching a good battle between Stephen Wetton and Ryan Seams for what would be the final wave around on track if a caution were to come out at that moment. We've only had one accident so far that wasn't a yellow flag. That was when Stephen Rex and Derek Colson got together, but was out of the racing groove, therefore no yellow was needed. Krapser edging Boyd at the stripe.
And Leto, I have to concur with that. I, being a Texan, was still disappointed that Wilkesboro died for Texas. I didn't want it to go away. I wanted a race in Texas, but not like that. I'm so glad that Wilkesboro is being has a resurgence now.
Hey, I just wanted Texas World Speedway to stay on the schedule. That was an awesome track. That was like a that was like a hyper speedway version of Michigan. Now, I remember that track.
Yeah, that was a great track. There was some great racing there, and the only downfall is nowadays they put a restrictor plate on it.
Battle on track is well for position number 17, Greg Holes and Stephen Wetton. Greg Holes with the Sea-Watch throwback. Now, I can't recall that paint scheme. I tried to look it up on Google, but the first thing I'd see is the old Austin Hill Sea-Watch car from a couple years ago, or maybe last season.
Looking back up, just wanted to take a quick look. Zach Edwards now almost a 5-second lead over the Mad Bear, or the Carrot Top tonight. Zach has just checked out. Austin Edwards now back and forth, and it's not like Austin is going slow. I mean, he is one of the picks for a possible win here tonight. But, man, Zach Edwards, he is just in another realm tonight.
Absolutely. We'll step aside and take a second commercial break. Zach Edwards leads Matt Bear, John Schwartz, Austin Edwards, and Noah Carpenter. If trouble breaks out, we'll break in. Stay with us here on How to Suck at iRacing from North Wilkesboro.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting boozy. Howdy, partner. I'm so excited for next week's event that I'm shaking. Totally different shakes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing.
We are back here with 122 laps complete, about to be 123 this time. Zach Edwards continues to lead. Matt Baer, by the way, had a pit moments ago. John Schwartz currently second, should expect him soon. Austin Edwards third, Noah Carpenter fourth, and Alex Krapser rounds out the top 5. It is a good battle happening on track for P2, second through fifth, all under a blanket with heavy lap traffic in the way. It's a Hornet's Nest in the 3. Edwards looks for second here, Doug.
And no surprise, Austin coming alive late in a run, but man, Matt Baer's strategy got him in up there into the top 2, but just didn't play out the way he wanted to, but still a lot of racing ahead. So expect Matt Baer to fight back on this one. As we mentioned when he tried that fuel strategy, hey, you know what? If it doesn't work early, you got a fast race car, you can make up that ground you lost.
Carpenter gets past Schwartz and has third position at the start-finish line. This could get interesting with a 57 up the track in Tanner Kalin running in 17th. They were nearly 4 wide into turn number 1. Schwartz with the Bobby Allison Miller High Life throwback, another Miller Coors car. Noah Carpenter with a Coors Light throwback. Austin Edwards with last year's K2 paint scheme. That's the throwback on car number 18. Up to P2. He was back in 4th after the first round of pit stops because of Schwartz and Baer trying to take less fuel and hope for a first caution to come out now. But at this moment, their strategy is currently backfired on them, Doug.
Yeah, it really has, but man, it is so weird saying Austin Edwards is 7 seconds back from the leader in second place. That just tells you how fast Zach is going tonight. But more than that, Zach has been having he's been timing catching lap cars perfectly. He's been laying back a little, I noticed. When he sees a battle between lap cars, he just lays off of it a little. It's allowing him to save a bit of fuel too. But once that battle of lap cars is done, he'll run back, run through them, and then he's got clear track ahead. Whereas Austin is catching them as they battle, and now he's got to fight. And look at the Hornet's Nest in front of him. He has nowhere to go, and Noah Carpenter right on the back bumper.
This could get interesting. You even have a battle for the final waiver round at the moment between Turpin and Seams for 13th. It's Pelletier, Wynn, and Seams. They're the first 3 that are currently a lap down, and now Turpin falls back to Ryan Seams.
And Seams was way out of shape out of turn 4. He is still fighting it, but man, something was definitely off, more so than what we would expect on the bottom. Let's see how he does coming off turn 4 this time. He's got a little bit more room to run it up the track, but man, that car looked like it was wickedly out of shape, as it looks like we might be starting to see our next round of pit stops here.
Steven Wetton is also, and we should expect the drivers in about 10 laps from now. Noah Carpenter, by the way, in this Hornet's Nest, has taken away second position from Austin Edwards. This looks like an Oklahoma land rush, thundering their way into turn number 1 once again.
And you know, the question has to be asked here. Zach Edwards being as dominant as he's been so far, he's 8 seconds ahead. He's lapping cars left, and Noah Carpenter really starting to have some blinking issues.
He's been having that a lot throughout the night. The ping is 125.
And I'm guessing if Aaron Hillebush is seeing that, he might have an issue before long. But you have to wonder, if this thing continues to stay green, which have no signs of it stopping, I mean, how many cars can Zach Edwards lap here tonight? He is just chomping away through the field. He's got a little bit of clear track right now, so he can run whatever line he wants. But, man, he is just running everybody down.
Just had a change for 7th position. Tyler McRae getting past PDJ Zeller. Great to see T-Money back in the field. He's normally been a fast car throughout the season. However, though, been never able to find the consistency. He reminds me a lot of Joe Campbell, kind of, with the bad luck he has had in XCAL racing in the past.
Speaking of Joe Campbell, up 7 spots into 16th, trying to continue his march toward the front here tonight. And, you know, after all the bad luck last week, it's great to see him. Oh, my God, look out right behind Joe Campbell. There's a car around it. It's Tyler Jailbert. No caution yet.
We stay under the green flag.
Jailbert looked like he was up high. He needed to get to pit road, but watch this move. Joe gets by. I'm not sure if he was trying to go to pit road or if he just got wickedly loose, comes down across the track.
I think he that looks like a car that's going at a slow rate of speed, and Fraley just came in way too hot. Now, I think this reminds me a lot of the Quinn Half situation we had at that one track a couple years ago, where he came down 2 lanes trying to get into pit road, and he got in a wreck. That's something that the drivers are not really going to like. Luckily for Jalbert, he did a 360 and kept it going. If he would have stayed in reverse, like with it going backwards, looking backwards, that would have been a good chance that we would have had a caution flag going out.
Yeah, at least he was able to save it, get the car going again, and kept it under green. That would have, with as many cars as have been to pit road, that would have hurt a lot of drivers had he not done that. But man, Joe Campbell obviously.
Oh, trouble! Nope, never mind. No Carpenter is blinking.
Obviously got a little bit of luck for Joe because he just barely got past before that incident happened.
Tell you, by the way, Austin Edwards is now in pit road, still waiting on the leader in Zach Edwards to come in with an 8.5 second lead on Noah Carpenter, and I think this is the time he's coming.
I think so. No, yeah, he is. Oh, he got it all, but he saves it. Great save. Noah Carpenter will now go to the point.
Of course, you got to be very careful.
Tyler Gilbert got into the back of the 960 of Noah Carpenter.
Carpenter's going to be furious at that, that's for sure.
Gilbert is having some issues here tonight. Carpenter down to the bottom, as you see on the replay. Checks up, and Gilbert just,
That's why they call Tyler Gilbert the weapon for a reason. And you know that's the effect that happens when driver chat is disabled in XCAL racing. Of course, all the drivers not allowed to speak to each other in a race. They can only talk in their team chats. That's the big effect here, that you can't tell the drivers on track when you're coming in, and at a track like North Wilkesboro, that's kind of not surprising to see, and there's a reason why, and that's what we saw right there on track. So Carpenter didn't lose a spot though, but he did lose a lot of time, because remember, he was in a battle for second before coming on into pit road.
And a guy who was really fast last week is now up into second. Matt Pelletier, 18 seconds behind the leader. Of course, Crapser has not been to pit road. Neither has Pelletier. It looks like they are the last two to actually get to pit road. And if Crapser does not, Crapser could come out. If he has a good pit stop, he could come out with the whole field a lap down.
So Alex Crapser brings the number 29 into pit road. This should cycle the field over to Zach Edwards, followed by Matt Baird, John Schwartz, Austin Edwards, and Kendrick Cryer. That is the expected top 5 once Crapser finishes up his pit stop. Of course, Zach Edwards, when he comes by, he'll be 1 lap down. Let's focus on a battle for 12th spot between McRae and Turpin. They were battling earlier while we were talking about the wave situation as they continue on.
Yeah, and I think, man, this thing is starting to really shake up with all the different pit strategies going on, because we've got guys that are stopping 10, 15 laps earlier than the majority of the field, and we've got a couple of guys that have managed to stretch it a little bit further. I think we're seeing a lot of stuff start to play out here, and some strategy. Plus, you see some guys that were sliding earlier now have a lot more grip, now seem to have control of the car, and I think they've adjusted for the temperature, and we're starting to see some speeds pick up.
Carpenter and Jalbert side by side, and this is actually a battle for 27th. Noah Carpenter lost all of that time. It was not just due to the spin, but he had to repair some damage on that Coors Light 960. And so he has fallen back big time as Zach Edwards has retaken the lead away after pit stops.
And it looks low. It gets Gilbert just going to cross back over. This is not a wise move on Gilbert's part, especially coming into tonight with every driver having a strike. and the 2 incidents Jailbert's already had here, I would be backing it off just a hair.
Jalbert is out here to fight trouble at turn 3. Tyler McRae gets loose off the bumper of Luke Turpin. Saves it though. They were in a battle for 10th spot with Robert Colgan, but save it.
Let's see if we can see what happened here.
Oh, and McRae puts the bumper on Turpin. He's going for you. Just let him know he's not happy.
Oh!
Oh, and he bumps him again. Moves him up the track. Team money to the inside for 11th. Tyler McRae is back, and he's not here to play around.
Yeah, we saw McRae just get pushed up the track, and yeah, he is going to definitely be fighting back all night.
While we are at it, let's take this opportunity to look at our XCAL. Oh, Don Jordan got turned off at Tyler McRae. Jordan was trying to come into pit road. This is incredible. It's starting to get intense now. As we're near the halfway point, by the way, at North Wilkesboro. We are 152 laps complete, coming to 153. Once again, you take a look from the XCAL Racing web blimp, as we got trouble.
They just door slammed each other, and I don't think these two are done yet with this battle at all.
I don't think so. You know, Turpin and McRae have had a very historic rivalry in the past, and Turpin got by with a little bit of paint rubbing, and he is up to 11th and wants to close in on Robert Colgan for 10th. And how about Colgan, by the way? This is a great run for him in the 94. In the Bill Elliott Make It Mac Tonight throwback, you know, we normally see Colgan in the mid-pack to the rear. He's also a guy that has a bunch of bad luck. This is one of his best runs he has had this season.
And if you're Luke Turpin right now, you've just caught Colgan, but this whole time McRae has been running you down. I'd be a little worried right now.
I would probably too if I'm Robert Colgan. He just lets the field go by. Best finish for Colgan this season is in 11th. That came at Phoenix, and Colgan is back to 12th. Why don't we take this opportunity to give you a full field rundown of the drivers on the racetrack. Zach Edwards has pretty much dominated this race so far today, leading out in front as he puts 157 laps on the board. John Schwartz with a great run today in the Miller High Life. Bobby Ellison throwback in the 01 runs in the second. Matt Bear with the Ken Schrader throwback in the 1-800-CALL ATT scheme, currently in third spot. We just heard something from Aaron Hillebush. Hold that thought. Let me hear this. Apparently we heard that there was a close call with a driver and they got it back rolling. May have had to do with Matt Pelletier going off of the track. And yes, Boyd got spun out, by the way, while we were away. And that was a hard shot. Take a look at this replay, Doug. Let's take a look at it on the Flaming Karma Paint Shop replay.
When did it happen? Because I missed that one.
57:43.
See if this is the culprit here. 29 underneath Rocky Boyd.
That is not it. So, all right, we'll move on from that. Just wanted to point that out. Let's continue talking about the drivers at the moment. Austin Edwards in the K2 throwback from last year runs in 4th position, while Alex Crapser in the Jeff Burton Ray Bestos throwback, great scheme for him, rounds out the top 5. Currently running in 6th spot, Kendrick Cryer. He's got his teammate Blake Wynn behind him, not battling for a position. I shouldn't say teammates, former teammates. That's why they're running the same scheme. Devin Landry with the Ward Burton throwback, currently running in 7th position. Nice run for the JNS machine. And trouble behind them. Derek Colson's got in turn. Steven Rex is around. Joe Campbell is spun out. Caution flag is out for the first time in this race as we are just around the halfway point. Somebody is getting DQ'd tonight. Let's show you the replay. This looks like this is on the 25, but what a hard lick for Derek Colson, Doug.
Yeah, down the back straightaway towards turn 3. The 25, Coulson was already loose when the 25 gets to him. Oh, Coulson gets the K-rail. He lost a wheel, and having to look and see who else was involved in this one. Looks like Jailbert might have caught a piece of this as well. Because
Stephen Rex also in it. Him and Hewins were all trying to go to the outside. They caught the wall and got together.
they all check up, and chaos ensues. Several
Look at the
drivers.
leader. Zach Edwards just nipped his way by it. It was right in front of him. Look at this again. Watch the 6 car. Oh, he did get a piece of it. Got Tyler Jalbert, but doesn't look anything too bad off of my end. Look at this, folks.
Out of turn 4. Everybody's already more or less crashed and checking up. He is, whoa! Looks like he might have got a little bit on the left rear, but managed to hold on to it. What a great save.
The driver's currently on pit stops at the moment. We'll get back to the... Actually, we will step aside while we're at it. We'll come back once again. We'll resume the alloy wheel repair specialist full field rundown. So stay with us here at North Wilkesboro. Zach Edwards currently leads.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting boozy. Howdy, partner. I'm so excited for next week's event that I'm shaking. Totally different shakes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing.
We are back right on time as Zach Edwards brings the field back down to the green flag. 170 laps are complete. As we are back underway here, can tell you, by the way, after that caution flag, it was dealt a racing incident between Rocky Boyd and Tyler Jalbert. Matt Pelletier, Blake Gwynn, Greg Holes each get back on the lead lap. They're currently running 6th through 8th on the racetrack. After the first yellow of the race, A yellow that Zach Edwards did not want to see. Number one, not only did he get a piece of that action, number two, it erased what he had about an 8-second lead on Austin Edwards, and Austin wants that race lead.
Not only that, but it put 3 more cars back on the lead lap. Now back up to, 14 cars on the lead lap versus 11 prior to that, and he was chomping away at the drivers that were on the lead lap. So now he's got a long way to go, and Austin Edwards on the back bumper.
A couple moments ago with Gerald Poole had a bumper thanks to Matt Pelletier that put him through the grass. He saved it, and we are still green. 3-car battle for the race lead between Zach, Austin, and Devin Landry. We can tell you, by the way, Devin Landry did lead a lap under caution because of pit stops. So he is the 4th different leader in this race.
And while I'm mentioning Gerald Poole, Thanos up 6 spots already tonight. This is one of those tracks he is really, really good at. He's one of the XCAL drivers that will be participating in the cancer charity event tomorrow night. Look forward to seeing him back in a Thanos paint scheme this week too.
While we're at it, let's get back to our alloy wheel repair specialist full field rundown. Zach Edwards leads, Austin Edwards 2nd, Devin Landry 3rd, Alex Krapser 4th, John Schwartz 5th, Matt Pelletier is 6th in the dropping bombs throwback. Blake Wynn is 7th in the gas and go throwback. Right in 8th position, that is Greg Holes in the Sea-Watch throwback car. Then PDJ Zeller with the Tony Raines throwback runs in 9th. He was in the top 3 earlier on in this race. Kendrick Cryer back in 10th position. Then you've got Luke Turpin currently running in 11th position with the throwback to his dad's paint scheme. Been a tough night for Superman. His teammate Matt Baer back in 12th with the Ken Schrader throwback. Even Wetton with the Motorcraft throwback. Up 19 positions, our biggest mover of the race runs in 13th. Rocky Boyd trying to rebound from that yellow is running in 14th position. Tyler McRae is in P15 with the dropping bombs throwback. Ryan Seaves is 16th with the Jimmy Johnson throwback. Noah Carpenter trying to rebound after getting turned off of Tyler Jalbert. That did not bring a yellow out. He runs in 17th position. Tanner Kalin in 18th position with the XCAL Racing Sim Racer coin throwback. Joe Campbell runs in 19th in the Bill Elliott throwback. Jeff Edgar up 10 positions along with Ryan Seams in the Alan Koricki throwback. Doug, 21 through 33.
Gerald Poole currently up into 21st. Jim Johnson up into 22nd place right now. Continues his march forward. Friley continuing to fade a little bit here tonight. Back to 23rd now. Sean Patrick currently running in 24th. Albie Hewins has had a series of great runs in recent weeks. He's currently in 25th. Robert Colgan back in 26th has definitely had a rough night. He has been back in 4th. Alex Gratz in 27th. He looked fast in practice, but just has not materialized. Jose Godino in the Cole Trickle paint scheme in 28th. Tyler Gilbert in the middle of a big mess right now in 29th. Stephen Rex currently in 30th. Don Jordan 31st. And Derek Colson, Kyle Bartles off track at the moment.
Austin Edwards still all over that rear bumper of Zach Edwards for the race lead. Austin has not let Zach get away from this. Could this potentially have to do with the left front damage that Zach had in that first caution?
I think he just got left rear. It did not look like he got any real left front damage. I just think Austin is so good at tuning the car and so good at making it work on the longer run, dialing it, finding how to make it fast, that, hey, he has figured something out.
Alex Krapser, Devin Landry in 4th and 3rd respectively, trying to make this a handsome foursome. So we'll see what happens there. Also a good battle on track for the 27th spot between Alex Gratz and Jose Godino. That's in the back of the field. You've got as well in this Peloton pack, Sean Patrick, John Friley, Albert Hewins, Robert Colgan. They are in a great battle. That is happening for 23rd.
That is a big mess going on right in there, as guys trying to pick up anything they can, and you got guys up there trying to get around lap traffic while lap traffic trying to battle it out. Everybody's in the fight here tonight at some point on this 5/8 mile track.
I got a confirmation, by the way, on the 14th place car in Stephen Wetton. That is Bud Moore colors. That's not Wood Brothers colors. It looks like it because it's the Motorcraft car. Those are cars from Bud Moore. That's pretty cool. Tell you, by the way, Derek Colson is back on the pits after a 9.5-minute pit stop to repair damage after the caution came out. Still one driver out of the race. That is Kyle Bardos on the 88. He only completed 38 laps in the going. Back up front for the lead, you got Zach and Austin Edwards. They've opened up a little bit of a gap on Devin Landry. That's 0.4 of a second. Landry and Crapser try to battle for third spot. Oh, hang on, Luke Turpin off of 2. Oh my goodness. Almost gave me a heart attack there. Off of turn number 2, I switched to him, and he was already loose off the front bumper of Rocky Boyd.
Rocky definitely trying to make his way back.
Oh, hang on, Rocky. Tokyo drifting, dirt tracking into turn 1, whatever you want to say about that.
Rocky definitely trying to make his way back to the front. He has been, he's been fast all night, but man, when you can tell when he is really trying to push it and make something happen, he starts sliding all over the place. If he could get that car under control, he might be a real threat here before the night's out.
They're watching that battle for the top spot closely. A car length separate Zach and Austin. Zach really wants to beat Austin in a race where they finish 1 and 2. Robert Colgan inside on Sean Patrick for 23rd. Colgan trying to rebound after being as high as 10th position in this race.
Yeah, Colgan just getting caught in bad luck, but he has had a fast car here tonight. Just needs things to kind of turn his way here. He's not that far behind Jim Johnson, Gerald Poole, and Jeff Edgar. He could get back up in that battle, especially with, as you get into, he's got clear track and they have battles to run up in. He can still run down and pick up a top 20 finish here.
Let's go back to Turpin and Boyd in a battle for 12th position. Just trying to follow each other's lines. Look at the skid marks on that low side. That's what's been happening after in a long run. As there you see Boyd pull up to the bumper of Luke Turpin.
Boyd down on the bottom, goes by. Turpin not fighting him this time. I don't think we'll see Luke try and push it. He has seen how hard Boyd is. Oh! He's seen how hard Boyd is pushing that car. He knows he's going to fade before long.
Not been the night Rocky Boyd has wanted. Started in second after winning a heat earlier in the night. Here goes Turpin into pit road. This looks like an unscheduled pit stop, as he was one of the few to pit earlier on in this race under caution on lap 165. So Turpin comes in and forfeits the 13th spot to Stephen Way, and everyone else tries to move up a spot because of that. We're still focusing on Zach and Austin. Keep you posted on that. Let's look at the battle for 8th on track. Greg Holes and PDJ Zeller.
Petey's having a really good season. Didn't get off to the best start, but he has started making his way forward pretty much since the Pocono Roval. He has been in the battle, in the fight, and he said he just wants to get some good top 5 finishes all the rest of the season. Stay in the top 10, obviously, and continue to live in the top 10 in points, but he is definitely looking for those top 5s and said he will win before the season is out.
A lot of drivers playing it nice and safe. Of course, low line is the place to be here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. We've hit the lap 200 mark here in North Carolina. Working on Stephen Wetton in car number 15, who's a couple of laps down. He has to let the leaders go by. This could get interesting, though, and Holes may use Petey as a pick, or use the 15 as a pick to Petey, I should say. Petey actually got past Greg Holes at the start-finish line, so that may have actually helped out the 00, because Holes did not know where Stephen Wetton was going to go, and he merges out with the field. This could get interesting. And now here comes Kendrick Cryer for 9th.
Kendrick Cryer looks down to the bottom into turn 1, and Kendrick has been a little bit more, as we saw early on, a bit more aggressive here tonight, using the body just a little bit. We saw a little bit of door slamming earlier on. He is not going to be held up by anybody, I don't think, tonight. Kendrick really has stepped up the aggression overall this season. Oh, Kendrick gets
Oh,
bumped.
boy. And there goes Cook. Oh, is it around his holes? Maybe. What a save. They were dealing with Derek Colson in the 5. He came down on him. Let's see. Do we have a replay on that? We're checking to see if we do.
This is going to be an interesting one.
They were side by side. It should be coming about a half lap now.
Down the front straightaway, then Holes just gets into the bumper. Then he checks up. Colson right there. Nice save by Greg Holes.
That really did help out PDJ Zeller pull away a lot. Same with Kendrick Cryer. Trying to see if there was also a change for position. Matt Bear was able to close in just a little bit, but still 1.5 seconds back on the 19 of Holes. We're still running 9th and 10th. Meanwhile, it's still Zach Austin, Alex Krapser, your top 3. They've opened a gap on Devin Landry, 2 seconds. And he's starting to fade back and try to get Schwartz to come closer. A battle for 4th is developing between the two. Schwartz, remember, coming off that 3rd place finish last week at Sobo.
Well, it is past halfway, and here comes Schwartz. That does not surprise anybody. He is definitely a late race favorite. I think if he ever gets to where he has some speed early on and can keep that car in the top 5, I think he'll be very difficult to beat because he's always one of the fastest both through traffic and later in a race. Very smart, very consistent, and very conservative driver.
The gap has stayed consistent between Zach and Austin Edwards. Alex Krapser, just watching them, just following them. They're just racing their race, being patient. You saw Edwards get a little bit tight on corner exit and nearly lost control of the car. A little bit of stability was lost. That opens up a good gap for Zach Edwards. 0.02 of a second were lost there for Austin Edwards. Krapser was 0.05 quicker last time by.
I don't think it's going to matter. They are half a straight away from being back into a group of lap traffic, so I think a few hundreds here and there, they'll probably be willing to give it up. But I think the lap traffic and negotiating it is going to be where this race is decided. And so far, that advantage has gone to Zach Edwards tonight.
Here's this battle from the XCAL Racing Web Shop blimp. While we're at it, while we're watching this battle for the lead, we'd like to take this opportunity to tell you to log on to the XCAL Racing web shop at xcalracing.com/shop for all your favorite things XCAL Racing. We love to help out the kids. Our newest products include an I Love XCAL Racing toddler fan shirt and an XCAL embroidered bear bib. So check all that online. Sim Racer Hub is the official statistics provider of XCAL Racing that calculates all of our points, top 5s and top 10s. If you're a part of a league and want to get some new scoring, be sure to check out Sim Racer Hub for all your needs at simracerhub.com. If you would like to become a super fan of XCAL Racing, come subscribe to our XCAL Patreon. Go to xcalracing.com, click on 2022, and scroll all the way down to where it says Become an XCAL Racing Patreon. You can get exclusive access to the XCAL Discord and more. Must be 18 or older to view the content. And also our Victory Lane sponsor is Fuel Factor X, presented by KMU Trucking. Fuel Factor X is the official fuel supplier of XCAL Racing, or I should say the gas treatment of XCAL Racing, and an absolutely incredible product. Save money on gas and a whole lot more. Drive further and protect the planet. A comprehensive fuel treatment. For more, go check out mydailychoice.com, and you can buy them at your favorite retail stores. Zach Edwards has opened up a nice lead on Austin Edwards. Do you think that stability issue may have hurt the driver of the 18? He's lost a lot of time, and Crapser is closing in. However, with Zach Edwards, he's starting to close in on some lap traffic.
I don't think it has anything to do with Austin. I think it has everything to do with Zach Edwards being on fire right now. You know, Zach Edwards has been up in contention in most of the races. He goes through. Oh, Zach's got a little excitement as he gets underneath lap cars.
Contact between Schwartz and Landry. They're in a battle for 4th position in turn number 2, and we're leading on each other. Schwartz went up the track and just moved Landry, and you know the 96 is going to remember that, but Schwartz is starting to pull away.
Let's see if we have the replay on this battle as they come off of 4. Landry way up by the wall. Looked like he was a little loose off 4. Schwartz thought he was, I think he thought he was clear. I think he just came up, was driving the same line he's been driving all night. I don't know that that was just a racing incident. Schwartz just didn't realize he was there.
Could have been, who knows. So we'll step aside and take another break as Zach Edwards leads Austin Edwards, Alex Crapser, John Schwartz, and Devin Landry. Pit stops on the other side of this break in just a moment.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and eNASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
We are back here at North Wilkesboro Speedway, North Carolina. 229 laps are complete as Zach Edwards continues to lead. He has opened up a 9/10 of a second lead on Alex Crapser. Next time we're with you at XCAL Racing is next week when XCAL heads to Southern National Motorsports Park. That should be a fun one. Start time at 7:30 p.m. across the family of How to Suck at iRacing. So glad you could join us here once again. Go ahead, Doug.
Oh, Alex Crapser, you just got to give the guy a shout out, man. That 29 car up 10 spots already tonight. Up in second, up ahead of Austin Edwards, and trying to run down Zach Edwards. He is closing the gap on Zach Edwards. He might be Zach's toughest competition here tonight.
Yeah, Alex Crapser just made a pass for second on the 18 a couple moments ago. We were with you under commercial when that happened. Crapser just got up to the inside of Austin, and Austin just let him go and made the pass stick. And Austin's actually in the pits. Pit stops are underway, and Austin looks for the horsepower advantage when he comes back out on the track and tries to get the fresher tires compared to Zach Edwards for a couple of laps.
Well, this will be the second to last stop of the night. They can make it on one more stop from here. So guys are going to be playing with the strategy here just a little bit, seeing what they can make happen here. Crapser in second, now Schwartz in third, Pelletier in fourth, and Petey back up into fifth. Petey's been picking them off one at a time.
Yeah, PDJ Zeller having a much better car right now. Landry Cryer and Rocky Boyd are in pit road. Austin Edwards exits back in 14th position at the moment.
Greg Holes gets... Oh, Greg has a huge problem.
Around goes Tyler Jalbert off of Zach Edwards, the race leader. Jalbert was coming into pit, and Zach did not expect it either.
Let's see what happened here. Going through 3 and 4, and this is the same thing Jalbert ended up doing. No, Jalbert clipped. I don't know that he got touched. Jalbert just clipped that curbing trying to come down. That's the same thing Jalbert ended up, was on the giving end of that incident earlier, but I'm not 100% sure that Zach Edwards touched him on that one.
I have on my end, he's got 8X. Of course, the one from the first caution, I think he just got one from that. If you look closely, there are some bug scuffs up on the front of the number 6. I'm not sure if that's paint scuffs or what it is, but it could be. Gap, though, still 9/10 of a second between Zach and Alex at the moment. And pit stops are again, green flag pit stops are underway. PDJ Zeller is in.
Yeah. Hey, first off, good evening to Richie. And second off, yes, Richmond is completely changed and gone from Virginia to South Carolina and became North Wilkesboro.
Do you know North? Oh wait, so
I'm reading the comments, and we had a comment that said didn't realize Richmond was this tight, but yes, it is.
Well, also I didn't realize that North Wilkesboro also moved states. Oh, hang on, Rocky Boyd and Jeff Edgar get together off of 2. Boyd goes sliding into the infield as he saves it.
Let's see what happened to Rocky. Yeah, I was for some reason thinking, oh, Rocky was wicked loose through 1 and 2, comes down the track. Man, what a save. He kept his foot in it, got it straightened out onto the back straightaway. But, man, it's getting a bit exciting here late in the race. Second to last, green flag stops. The leader is now in. Everybody's getting everything they can.
Zach Edwards, the final one to come in, so we'll have the freshest tires amongst the bunch. We'll watch his stop here at the moment. Austin Edwards to the 33.52 on pit road. Alex Crapster should be done in any second. He goes off with a 33-second stop. A lot of drivers going with a 33-second stops. We saw earlier a couple of 40-second stops. I have a feeling this has to do with wanting to pit possibly when the window opens at around lap 270 or so.
Yeah, they're planning out that long run at the end. Some of these guys will try and stretch it here, but I think you'll see a lot of guys either having it or...
Here comes Crapser. Here comes Crapser. Crapser to the lead at North Wilkesboro.
And for the first time tonight, too. So he'll pick up some bonus points. If he does not come... No, he stays out. He will pick up the bonus points.
Crapser pitted a couple of laps, actually a lap before Zach Edwards did. He led earlier in the race under the cycle of green flag pit stops. That's the 7th lead change of our XCAL Racing Web Shop 333. And Alex Crapser just set his best lap of the day at a 19.903.
Looking through to see.
And the quickest lap of the race now, 19.85.
That's going to be
lap.
heartbreaking for Petey because Petey had the Kendrick Cryer had the previous fastest lap. Petey has been working on he has been just as quick most of the night, and he's just been looking for bonus points all night long. Finally was up in that range, just not going to get it. Looks like the track temp might be coming down and the speeds are going up.
Track temp currently 104 degrees, set on 5:30 p.m. local time. Zach Edwards just set his personal best last lap with a 19.88, and they both run quick laps, their best laps of the day. Krapser the fastest lap again, 19.848. This is gonna turn down to a dogfight between the J&S teammates.
Well, we've been saying J&S spent a lot of time in the offseason working on fuel mileage, setups, everything. They have been strong. They started the season with a win, and they have been in contention in literally every single race all season long. I don't think, I think one of the top teams, if not the top team as far as overall team performance right now is the J&S Racing Camp.
Krapser 400s quicker that last time by, but look at all this traffic that the leader is about to get swallowed up into that will allow the 6 to close in just a little bit. First one is Matt Bear.
Yeah, and Matt will not make it easy on anybody. He is wanting to stay on that lead lap. Him and Carrot Top are trying to come back to the front, but it doesn't look like Matt can hold him.
Now Matt can race him if he wants, because he is just going a lap down in his wave around car. You can kind of see it right there. They made contact.
Matt just gets a little bit loose, and I'm not sure if they made contact or it just came really. You couldn't have fit a piece of paper between them for sure, but man, it's getting close and dicey as guys try and hold on.
Robert Colgan has to get out of the way. Jeff Edgar has to get out of the way. Greg Holes on the yellow roof, that 19. He can race the leaders if he wants to. But I think he understands that there is a battle for the race lead happening between Alex and Zach.
And it has been Zach all night long, but since Alex went to the lead, he has been faster consistently. And if they get some clear track, definitely tricky to do here in Wilkesboro, but if they get some clear track, we might see Krapser be able to pull away.
Now you got to think as well. Was anything that Edwards had damage on from the contact with Tyler Jalbert when Jalbert was coming into pit road? Could that have been a situation that led to losing some speed?
It doesn't appear to be, because since that contact, he ran his fastest lap of the night. So I'm not sure that would have been the case, but you never know, and we'll definitely find out as the race goes on. Less than 80 laps now. He is still just as fast as Krapser, so I think he might be good to go. I think Krapser is just faster. Look at the way he is cutting through this traffic.
Drivers working on now Noah Carpenter. Top two get by Greg Holes, and now Carpenter has to let the leaders go by. Bad corner for Zach Edwards to deal with because Carpenter was in the way. Doesn't lose a lot of time, though. They're just running about even laps, and the gap is now half a car length between the top two. Colson's off track, and he is around. Gets the car upright, and we're still green. Oh, look out.
Colson.
Alex Kratz nearly got into him.
And it was Colson off the 25 again. It was Colson off Rocky Boyd, as you see in the replay there. And we talked about the tempers coming into the night. After last week at Sobo, a lot of drivers came into this one angry. I would not be the least bit surprised with these two going at it multiple times tonight. Colson and the 25 of Rocky Boyd could be one to watch if they get back together.
We had over 1,000 X combined of all the drivers last week. That's got to be a new record or something like that. Rocky Boyd, most incident points today at 17X. Colson's at 16X now, along with Jose Gaudino, Tyler Jalbert, Alex Gratz is at 15X. You've got a couple of drivers that have been clean tonight. John Schwartz, Alex Krapser, Kendrick Cryer, Kyle Bartles, Robert Colgan, Ryan Seams, Austin Edwards, and Tanner Kalin all at 0x tonight. Battle for the lead still on.
And, you know, Zach Edwards was clean right up until a pit stop, and that one really not 100% on him. It was just a racing incident, but Zach Edwards, the only driver to come out of last week with a 0x. That was an impressive run.
So with 259 laps complete, let's take this opportunity to look at our alloy wheel repair specialist full field rundown. Doug, kick us off.
Up front, Alex Krapser in the lead, but a hard-charging Zach Edwards right on the back bumper. Austin Edwards currently runs in third place, about 4 3/4 seconds back, with Jonathan Schwartz up to fourth now. Devin Landry in the 96, currently running in fifth, and PDJ Zeller on the march again in sixth. The Matt Bear, and Carrot Top on the hood back up into seventh. And Greg Hull's having a great night tonight, currently running in eighth, as he battles it out with Blake Wynn, who's going to take eighth place here. Greg Hull's now back to ninth, and Kendrick Cryer currently running in 10th. Matt Pelletier in 11th, trying to get himself back into the top 10 here tonight. Rocky Boyd has had a wild night. He is currently running in 12th place. And Superman Luke Turpin, uncharacteristically, back in 13th place, but he's always got something up his sleeve. Noah Carpenter, an up and down night. He has been as high as second, now back into 14th. Ryan Seams currently runs in 15th. And Tyler McRae back in the field in 16th. Albie Hewins about to move up into 17th. Stephen Wetton currently on pit road. Hewins has had a series of great runs, looking to get back into the top 15 here. Tanner Kalin currently running in 18th. Jim Johnson back in the car here tonight. He is currently in 19th. And Joe Campbell, after one of the roughest races we've seen out of that driver last week at Sobo, currently runs in 20th.
21st position is Gerald Thanos Pool with my favorite throwback of the weekend, which is the Bobby Allison AMC Matador car. 22nd position is Jeff Edgar. He's got the Hooters throwback to Alan Kowicki. 23rd spot is Steven Rex with the Dropping Bombs throwback from last year. John Friley running in 24th. He comes in with his own car. Stephen Wetton in 25th position with the Bud Moore throwback. Alex Gratz in 26th position. Gratz with his own car. Jose Gaudino in 27th position with the Cole Trickle City throwback, City Chevy throwback. And in 28th, just about a lap back on him, is Robert Colgan and the Bill Elliott Make It Mac Tonight paint job. 29th position, also with a rough night tonight, is Tyler Jalbert in the 84, and him and Rocky Boyd are about to exchange some words here. Not for a position. You see it right there. There's once, there's twice. And we'll see what Boyd has to say about that. Again, Rocky Boyd currently running in the 12th position. Third time. See if it happens for a fourth time. Don Jordan runs in 30th spot. Oh, Boyd put the bumper on Jalbert. Saves it though, has a handful. Derek Colson runs in 31st. Sean Patrick 32nd, and there's the bumper to the 84 again. Can he save it? He can. And Jalbert may be dumping him. He's probably going to let Boyd go and give him a taste of his own medicine. Remember, these were the two that got involved with the racing incident that led to the first caution of the race, as they continue to exchange some jabs.
And this is far from over. And here it comes. The 84 crosses over.
Get ready. Here it comes.
He's going to get right there. He sends it deep into the right.
There it is.
Yeah, they knew it was coming. Boyd knew it was coming. He's pulling ahead just a little bit, but turn one will tell the tale, I think, here. I think we may be seeing our second caution. If I'm the 45 right behind this, I'm backing off just a hair. And now look at this. Rocky Boyd down to the bottom. What? And the 84 just
Going
drives
to
it.
pit road.
Oh,
he's
into
gonna
the wall.
fall. Upside down he goes. That will not be a caution. As they are in pit road, they took each other out. No disqualification. And now Boyd drives in reverse to pit road. Oh my goodness. Heavy damage to both of them.
Wow. There's
They were
something
just
you
driving-
don't see every day, folks.
They were just driving. Both of them were just. I think if I'm John Schwartz, I am thinking, thank goodness y'all decided to take each other out on pit road instead of take each other out on the track. But we gotta admit, both of them. I know it's pure track racing, like Joey Logano would say, but they were both just driving with their heads under their asses.
Well, the 84 just drives. As you see in the replay, he just turns left and drives. He lost his left front wheel. His night is likely over, and it looked like they were going to try and battle this one out on pit road. I think Rocky Boyd was just trying to get away. He definitely lost the most in that exchange.
By the way, I'll give a 10 on the landing to Rocky Boyd. That was a nice little flip he did.
And Leto just drops into the chat, #parked next week. That is very likely for the 84.
Leto with the savage comments tonight. Zach Edwards and Alex Krapser, by the way, still battling for the race lead in a fun one.
You got to wonder, Zach right to the back bumper on Krapser. Probably not the best idea right now, boys.
Absolutely, especially what's been going on. Chris Bernier in the chat just hopped in, and he's rooting for Matt Pelletier. Pelletier currently running in 11th spot on track. Got some other good battles happening on track. You got Kendrick Cryer, Blake Wynn, and Matt Baer in a flurry of traffic. And that is a good battle for 7th.
Matt has been really pushing that car tonight. Every time we look back at him, that car is just a hair out of shape as he tries to drive it off lower and harder than everybody else. He has something figured out. He can definitely get that run off turn 4, but 1 and 2, he is losing so much ground here.
I wonder if Bear's thinking if he has double vision, because he's seeing 2 cars with the exact same paint scheme. Could be.
It could very well be.
Back up to the front with the top 2 have their boss in front of them in Joe Campbell. He's probably just going to let them know, all right, boys, take it easy. You're coming up on me. Campbell currently running in P16. He is up 7 spots for the drop of the green flag.
Joe, you might want to pull in between them and separate them for a moment. They're arguing.
Nah, he's just going to let them race. Let them race. They're out there. They're racing each other clean. That's what Joe wants to see from his drivers, knowing him pretty well.
You got to give it to the J&S and the Edwards high performance teams. There was a lot of yelling, a lot of blame, a lot of finger pointing after Sobo. There was a lot of contact, as we've talked about, but both teams, cooler heads prevailed. They slept on it, and then a day or two later, a peace treaty was signed. I think there were some war crimes that were addressed and moved on about their way.
So as Alex Krapser and Zach Edwards battle for the race lead, we got to go to break, but you are not going to miss a thing. Final stops of the race are coming up shortly. If trouble breaks out, we'll break in. Stay with us.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL Super
We're taking you to the finish of this one. Nearing the final 40 laps here at North Wilkesboro Speedway, and the final pit stops are underway. Some drivers have made their final stops. First guy that is good to go the distance in the highest position is PDJ Zeller, but a battle for the lead is on. Zach Edwards to the inside, coming to 40 laps to go. They are going at it for the top spot.
Zach probably timed that perfectly. Although they are teammates, they might have a little bit different gear, might be running a little bit different, and, you know, putting yourself to the inside of your top competitor as you come out of turn 3 and not knowing for sure if that competitor is looking for pit road, that could give you a little bit of an advantage here. It's hard to say, but obviously, nope, here he comes.
Final stop.
Did Crapser get held out longer than he wanted to be? We'll see if Zach comes in this time.
We'll see here for sure with what will Zach Edwards have to deal with if he comes in this time or he waits for the fresher rubber. I don't think I'd want to wait if I'm Zach Edwards. He goes one lap without. This is a big risk for Zach Edwards at the moment because remember what happened. Zach pitted a lap after Alex Crapser, and Alex was able to get the race lead. Unless we see some strategy be played where Zach goes for less fuel.
Could very well be, and Zach clips it,
Here he
comes on in.
Whoa, almost went in way too hot coming into pit road. He knows he's got a battle on his hands if he wants to win this race. So, Alex Crapser, 27.82 on pit road, 46.6 in his stop. Edwards in his box now. We'll watch closely on how the leaders shape up. We can tell you Austin Edwards goes back to the point.
Matt Pelletier currently is going to hop up a couple of spots here as well.
Half a lap away, half a lap away. Shorts, by the way, has taken the race lead. Here we go. Could get interesting. Zach, you may want to get out now. There he goes. He fires it. Gets back out onto the racetrack. Where's Alex Crapser? Crapser is right there. Here we go. Zach Edwards cycles out in front of Alex Crapser.
Now the question is, can he hold it? As here comes Crapser starting to gain on him. Matt Pelletier goes to the point tonight for the, I believe, first time here tonight.
I believe so as well. If he leads this lap, this will be our 10th lead change of the evening and our 6th different leader.
And Pelletier does stay out to get those bonus points. Smart move here, playing the strategy out to get any bonus points they can late in the run.
Whoa, Zach Edwards, a close call with Gerald Poole on lap 299 of this one. Nearly got into him. But look at all this traffic. And Zach Edwards, though, quickest lap of this race, 19.825 for the driver of the 6. A fantastic lap. And Edwards makes that look easy. Crapser is having a tough time.
Zach is definitely negotiating, and that has been his advantage all night, is timing his passes and just being able to get through this
be
lap
careful
traffic.
here. Man, I thought Steven Rex for a moment was about to take it 3 wide to the inside.
It definitely looks sketchy out there. Zach able to get through this traffic a lot quicker and a lot easier, but man, he dived to the bottom like he wanted to go 3 wide. That was a close one.
It is a 0.3 of a second advantage. Pelletier still out in front. Once the field cycles through, we expect Austin Edwards in 3rd, John Schwartz in 4th, PDJ Zeller rounding out the top 10.
And Matt Baer right behind this, just wickedly out of shape, out of turn 2. He's been fast in 3 and 4, but man, 1 and 2, Matt Baer is just all over the place.
Matt Pelletier, one of the only few drivers that have yet to make their final stop of the race, along with Jeff Edgar, John Friley and company. For Pelletier right now, he's playing the lottery. If he can get a caution flag right now, he is back on the lead lap and back in this race.
Yeah, and he'll have some great track position because you know there'll be some guys come in and go ahead and get tires. And currently only 4 cars being scored on the lead lap. 3 more get waved around. He's still got a top 10 finish locked if a caution comes out. But everybody in fear of the single strike tonight has to be careful. We've only seen a couple of guys really get a little bit, let's say, overly aggressive.
I got to tell you, though, Doug, we have seen a lot of accidents tonight and only one caution flag. There was not even a DQ. It was an EOL racing deal between Tyler Jalbert and Rocky Boyd.
Worth noting, the 84 of Tyler the Weapon Jalbert is back out on track after losing a wheel on pit road. He got that car fixed. He is back out there. Currently scored in 31st, whereas we look for Rocky Boyd, who is also still out there. He drove down pit road backwards. What a save, what a comeback by Rocky in 13th.
Actually just talked with Tyler Jalbert, by the way. So here was the situation. I noticed in his chat room, he wanted a bot that played Lonely by Akon on repeat in the voice channel. And when he got involved in a couple of wrecks, I asked him, the song stopped playing? And he said, it did. John Schwartz trying to unlap himself on Matt Pelletier. Now, if yellow comes out right now, Schwartz would be the wave around, but because now Pelletier lets him go by, Schwartz is on the lead lap. The only guy that does not want to see this yellow come out right now is Blake Wynn, because he would not give any of the wave arounds on track. Actually, hold that thought. Schwartz got by. Blake Wynn is the third car and final car that could get the wave around. So it's now Kendrick Cryer that does not want to see that, unless PDJ Zeller can unlap himself. But a change for the race lead. Zach Edwards goes to the point.
Zach, fresher tires, been out there, got some heat in him, and now he is making his way. Crapser in third, right behind Pelletier. Pelletier can't stay out too terribly much longer here. He's got to start thinking about getting to pit road, or he's going to end up being on the losing end of this strategy.
A couple more drivers have taken themselves out of the race. We talked about Kyle Bartels earlier. He's out of this race. Sean Patrick is out of the race as well. And we have heard that Tanner Kalin has now taken the car to the garage. He is done for the day, has parked it. So Crapser's up to second, still waiting for Pelletier to come on in, as we've got 22 laps of racing to go here at North Wilkesboro in what's been a phenomenal race tonight.
Yep, and reminder that at 10 laps to go per XCAL rules, no more wave arounds. At 5 laps to go per XCAL rules, no more cautions, no matter what.
Pelletier's in. Pelletier's gamble did not work. He could try and take the fuel he needs to get to the distance.
I bet it's a splash and go for Pelletier. And he might still...
He's on 2 tires, though.
He might still pull off a top 10 out of this strategy. Still a great night.
And there he goes. 16-second stop for Matt Pelletier. That's a good call for him. And that cycles him through to 6th position on 2 tires, but may lose it to Devin Landry. I like that call for Matt to try and get himself some money.
And look who's now back up in the top 5. PDJ Zeller, currently in 5th place. So Petey's night has gone the right way all night.
Great to see Petey make that recovery. He was in the top 3 at the beginning of this race. Before the first round of pit stops, Petey started to lose a bunch of time. Was outside the top 10 at one point, and now it's back up to 5th. This is a great run that Petey the Real J needed.
And currently, Zach Edwards has started pulling away again despite... Oh, Schwartz gets loose right in front of the leader. But Zach was starting to pull away at a 1-second gap on Alex Crapser. Schwartz trying like crazy to stay in a position to get back to the lead lap. But
and this is not what Devin Landry wanted to see. Schwartz get put a lap down because he's now not eligible for the wave around for the next couple of laps or so. Only leaves 3 drivers on the lead lap. Next car that's on the lead lap is Austin Edwards in 3rd.
Austin currently running in 3rd, trying to run Crapser down, and Austin is 17 seconds back in 3rd place.
He's going to need a caution.
It doesn't matter at this point. It just speaks to how fast these J&S cars are here tonight, that they are 17 seconds ahead of an EHP, the top EHP driver.
14 laps to go at North Wilkesboro.
Zach Edwards currently has 3/4 of a second on his teammate. Craps are still trying to navigate some lap traffic. And once Zach clears Matt Bear, he's going to have a little bit of clear track here. He might, here he goes, down to the inside. Matt's going to let him go.
I got to tell you something as well. It has been an up and down season for Zach Edwards, though. He began the year with a 33rd place finish at Lanier when he debuted. Excuse me. Let me correct that. He began the season with an 18th place finish at USA International Speedway, then racked off 3 straight top 10 finishes, outside the top 10 for the next 3, in the top 10 for the next 2, then 11th at South Boston in the first race at Sobo. And now he has put up some great runs, looking for his 3rd straight win of the season. Coming to the line, he'll be 10 laps away from taking the win.
And the
update on Pelletier, he's been actually able to open up the gap on Devin Landry by 2.5 seconds in 6th, Doug.
And the last person to pull off 3 in a row was Austin Edwards last season. So when we get when Austin gets that other Edwards kid back in here, it could just be Edwards winning every single race. Just a matter of which Edwards.
How about the rebound, by the way, for another driver, Noah Carpenter? In the 960, got turned around from Tyler Jalbert earlier in this race, and that put him all the way back to 29th at one point. He's been able to rebound, and he's in 12th position. Nice road to recovery for Noah Carpenter. I'm sure he'll take that after the night he's secured, but I have a feeling he expected a lot better than 12th for him.
Tyler McRae, another one that was involved in an incident earlier.
Jose Gaudino is around on the back straightaway, but he's in the infield and off the track will stay green. He got turned off the front bumper of Alex Gratz. He gets that thing back going. And so we stay under the green flag. Coming to 14 to go.
Gratz had just a massive run off too. Gaudino was loose and around he went off the nose. Zach Edwards has caught up to Boyd here. Hopefully Rocky is a little calmer right now.
Next time by will be green, green, green. 5 laps to go, which means no more cautions in this race. A lot like Michigan we had a couple of weeks ago, which was Zach Edwards' first career XCAL racing win. But Calvin's behind Rocky Boyd. Oh boy! Put the cameras on this baby. 5 laps to go.
There will be no caution.
But you got to be careful because Alex Krapser's in the way. So Jalbert's thinking, all right, Alex, get by first. Then I'll dump his butt.
Yeah, out of nowhere, the 84 catches up to Rocky Boyd, and now here he goes again. He's sitting in there. Now they're alongside each other. Does he make that hard ride into the wall here?
This could get interesting.
He's going to slide out. Is Boyd going to return the favor? No.
4 laps to go. There it is. There's the payback. Dirt tracking into 1. What a save from Jalbert. Up in the grass he goes.
Jalbert holds it.
Lap? That's going to be the big question. Who gets the last lap in all of this? Boyd, by the way, in 14th, despite getting wrecked earlier in this race.
2 to go for Zach Edwards. 2 to go for Zach Edwards, but the real fight is between 2 cars, not even battling for position here, as Zach comes around to take the white flag.
They're in each other's heads. They've just cared more about them than racing for a position. And I'm sure the owners of the 25 and 84 will not like that. Final lap is underway, though, for Zach Edwards. The second straight dominating performance for the driver of the JNS Racing, number 6, off of turn number 4, and Edwards goes 3 in a row. This time, it's Zach Edwards. Zach Edwards wins at North Wilkesboro tonight. Krapser second, Austin Edwards third.
Oh, look at the action just past the start-finish line as Jalbert and the 25 of Rocky Boyd go at it.
And Boyd says, I'm done, I don't care. And it stacked up a lot of guys at the end, like John Schwartz, for example, we're not happy at each other. Oh my goodness! If you may have to manually rewind it. Jalbert went for a huge send and tried to dump him, and he psyched out Tyler Jalbert. That, I'm not gonna lie, that's hilarious. But let's focus more on the race winner in Zach Edwards. 3rd straight win. He has been phenomenal in these last few weeks. This is amazing to see. So while we're at it, we'll talk with your top 3. There's Crapster coming up to congratulate him in what they had a great race. Joe Campbell coming up as well. Doug, this was a fun one to watch tonight. I'm not gonna lie. We may have only had 1 caution. This was still a fun one.
It definitely was. They had a great race. They, for the most part, kept it clean. Only 1 green flag, or only 1 yellow flag all night, which is impressive for a track like this. And as much contact and as much excitement as we had out there, the J&S cars get together on the front stretch.
Come on, Alex, get your butt in this. Alex doesn't care. He doesn't want to wreck the motor. So, let's begin here by talking with your top 3. First off, in Austin Edwards. Austin, you had a chance early on there battling with Zach Edwards, and you led early in the race. Just walk us through it from your perspective.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Marty, I'm not sure what Zach and Alex figured out of this track, but it worked like something awful. You know, they just pulled away from us in the first 160. We were lucky with that caution coming out, and I could stick with Zach for a little while, but I just burning my tires up like something awful. So we've got some work to do in our hot track setups. We didn't quite have it dialed in today, but got 2 of our cars in the top 10, so not a bad points day overall, and more than ready for Southern National.
Speaking of points, yeah, absolutely. That's a big one. Turpin with a 13th place finish. You extend that lead big time.
Yeah, the next step is trying to stay ahead of Crapser. You know, he's one of the most consistent drivers in this league, and I think he's second in points now. So we're going to just try to keep consistent, and, you know, if more wins come along the way, then great, but we're not going to kill ourselves over it. So ultimately, a good day.
I have to ask, man, the last time a person went 3 race wins in a row was you, and now it's another Edwards at 3 wins in a row. Are you getting the other Edwards back that filled in for you last week and see if he can go 3 in a row?
Yeah, you know, it's a possibility. Bladen was a great fill-in, despite the chaos of South Boston, but I think we have enough drivers in our cars right now. I'm sure we'll see him make a return eventually, but Zach definitely has something figured out right now. 3 wins in a row is crazy in this league, so props to those guys. Flawless race by them both.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to, Austin?
I just got to give a big shout-out to my team, you know. I was lacking practice this week, so they kind of set up the car for me this week, and of course I tried to make some adjustments to fix it because we were lacking some long-run speed, but just couldn't quite figure it out. I think we went the wrong direction, so big thanks to those guys for being the reason I'm up here on the podium, and of course JR Graphics and Design giving me this great throwback scheme in the K2 car, and thought we were going to get another win in the K2 scheme, but I guess I'll have to wait for another day.
Well, man, you had a great run tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you, Marty.
Austin Edwards finishes in 3rd position. Our 2nd place finisher tonight is Alex Crapser. Alex, you put on a good fight with Zach Edwards there. What more did you need in those final 30 laps or so?
I don't know, Marty. I don't know if I had anything for him. It seemed like we were pretty much running the exact same setup. He said he made an adjustment, so he tried to loosen up a little bit at the end, and he said it didn't really work, but I kind of ran the same thing the whole race, and we both got tight at the end, so ended up being a pretty good show, though, I thought.
Absolutely did. 1-2 finish, though, overall throughout the night for J&S Racing. They were up in front most of the race. I'm sure Joe will take that for sure. And I even saw the burnout, by the way. Why didn't you get into the freight?
I'm not a big burnout guy. I just, I finished second. I'm not there to show off or anything, so let Zach do that. He's won 3 in a row. That's awesome for him.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to tonight?
Just everyone on the whole team. Zach worked real hard on the setup this week, but we all kind of had good feedback. Even Noah, it's only his 2nd race of the team, but he had great feedback for Zach this week that kind of helped us. Got to thank XCAL, How to Suck at iRacing, J&S, Justin, Joe, Danny, all of them, everyone on the team. Awesome job.
Great run tonight.
Thanks, Mark.
Alex Krapser with a second place finish tonight. Now it is time to go to Fuel Factor X Victory Lane, presented by KMU Trucking and Excavating. Zach Edwards, 3 straight wins in your first 3 career XCAL wins. The mic is yours. Congratulations.
Thank you, Marty, man. This is pretty special, I didn't feel real comfortable coming into tonight, but we worked together good, building a good base, and as it showed, me and Alex had a pretty good race.
I do want to ask as well. We saw you get a little bit of damage. Saw some 8X from you tonight. Did some of the damage from Tyler Jalbert may have affected your speed tonight, or not really? Because we saw you increasing leads a lot, but then when you had that first contact with Jalbert in our lone caution of the race, it seemed like Austin Evers was just like matching your laps.
Yeah, I don't think it really affected my overall speed. I was more so riding right there because I knew Austin was going to ride with me. We weren't going to force the issue, so I think that was more what you were seeing versus the damage.
Overall, though, I do want to ask as well, did you feel like you had a much better car on the long run tonight?
Yeah, I think I lacked a little bit as a driver on the long run, but yeah, the car was really good. So no complaints there, and we'll try and do it again next week.
Yeah, next week, Southern National. What's the outlook like there in trying to go for 4 straight XCAL wins?
It's not one of my favorite tracks, but neither was this one. So I don't know. Maybe we have a shot. We got good momentum. We're just gonna keep rolling with that, and hopefully I'll end up talking to you guys again.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the win?
Yeah, I got to give a shout-out to JNS, Caden Lapsovich Motorsports. This thing was a hot rod. Alloy Wheel Repair of the Upstate. Flame and Karma Paint Shop. Jerry, he does a lot more for me than most people realize. So I got to give a big shout-out to him. And all of JNS, really. He does a lot for us. And you guys at How to Suck at iRacing for putting this deal on. XCAL, Aaron, he works his ass off, man. He deserves a lot of credit for what he does, so we just got to thank all you guys.
All right, man, we'll let you go. 3 for 3, congratulations.
Thank you.
Zach Edwards with the win as he celebrates in Fuel Factor X Victory Lane, presented by KMU Trucking. Fuel Factor X is where you can save money on gas, drive further, and protect the planet. Fuel Factor X is a comprehensive fuel treatment. Other products may have 1 or 2 of their components, but none have all of them. It would take many products mixed together to even come close to giving you the same benefits as using FFX. More info on it, check out mydailychoice.com/shop /fuel-factor-x-executive-pack. A lot of dashes there. I sometimes got to slow down there, Doug, for sure. So anyway, let's give you your official results here from tonight's running of the XCAL Racing Web Shop 333 at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Zach Edwards taking the win, Alex Krapser second, Austin Edwards third, only 3 drivers on the lead lap. John Schwartz fourth, Matt Pelletier, a great run for him to get up to 5th position. Nice strategy in the final laps for him. PDJ Zeller 6th, Devin Landry 7th, Kendrick Cryer 8th, Matt Bear 9th, and Greg Holes 10th. Blake Wynn 11th, Noah Carpenter 12th, Luke Turpin in 13th spot, Rocky Boyd 14th, Ryan Seams in 15th, Tyler McRae 16th, Stephen Wett in 17th, Joe Campbell 18th, Stephen Rex 19th, and Jeff Edgar 20th.
Albie Hewins comes home with a 21st, just outside of the top 20. Another pretty good run out of Albie. Jim Johnson's return comes in 22nd, Robert Colgan 23rd, John Friley 24th. How about Gerald Thanos Poole coming home in at 25th? Alex Gratz 26th, 27th is Jose Godino. Don Jordan 28th, Derek Olson 29th, and the weapon Tyler Jalbert comes home 30th. Tanner Kalin, Cole Patrick, and Kyle Bartles rounding out the field.
And it's starting to get good in Discord between the 2 drivers. We had only 1 caution for 7 laps, 14 lead changes here. Here are your different leaders that will be receiving the 5 bonus points. Zach Edwards led 227 of the 333 laps tonight. Man, oh man, that's insane. Other leaders tonight, you had Alex Krapser leading 59, Austin Edwards 35, Matt Pelletier 11, Devin Landry leading 1 lap. So they will all receive 5 bonus points for tonight's running. Of course, Zach Edwards with 5 more bonus points for leading the most laps. He also had the fastest lap in the race with a 19.825, so he'll have 15 bonus points tonight, putting his total at 190. On pole position tonight was Austin Edwards, so he'll receive a total of 170 points. And the hard charger from tonight's race, up 12 positions tonight to finish in 4th position. Actually, no, not 12. I'm sorry. Wow, there was another guy. Up 15 positions tonight. He started in 32nd and finished in 17th. That was Stephen Wetton. He will earn 119 points per today's event. All of those are unofficial results. As we continue on here with our post-race coverage, shout out to our super fans. None. How to be one. Go to xcalracing.com, click on where it says 2022, scroll all the way down to where it says Become an XCAL Racing Patreon, and hit I Heart XCAL. Get exclusive access to the XCAL Discord and more. Must be 18 or older to view the content. So next week, Southern National Motorsports Park. We talked about it a little bit earlier on. It's like Bristol and Martinsville having a baby, and put it on steroids as well. It's going to be crazy.
Yep, and don't forget, you will be able to watch several of the drivers in this field tonight, tomorrow night, in the 2nd annual Kathy Linder Memorial event for the American Cancer Society. Make sure you tune in, donate. You can find all that information on the How to Suck at iRacing Facebook page. Make sure you at least tune in, help watch, help cheer these on. It's going to be a big event. Over $1,000 in cash and prizes, I know.
Real quick before we go, we do want to confirm to you per PDJ Zeller, Zach Edwards is actually the first ever driver in XCAL Racing history to win 3 straight. So we apologize for what we said earlier on about Zach Edwards. About Zach and Austin Edwards. Zach Edwards is the first ever driver to win 3 straight in XCAL Racing history. That will do it for us tonight as we bid adieu. On behalf of everyone at XCAL Racing, our president is Aaron Hillebush, our vice president is PDJ Zeller, and all of their senior admins. On behalf of Doug Burns in How to Suck at iRacing, working the buttons tonight, I'm Marty Sakala signing off. Zach Edwards makes XCAL Racing history. He's the first driver to win 3 straight races. He wins at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Thank you all for joining us. So long, everyone.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and eNASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.